Good evening, everyone. My name is Someshwar, and I welcome all of you on behalf of our public organization to today's evening session of Yog Vaashishtha. So, रोज की तरह हम लोग 3 बार ओमकार का उच्चारण करके आज के सत्र की शुरुआत करते हैं. Let us all close our eyes. अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें. Sit comfortably. रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधी हो. Shoulders relax. Spine erect. एक साधारण सांस अंदर ले और छोड़ दे. एक गहरी लंबी सांस अंदर ले और अपने सांस को धीरे धीरे छोड़ते छोड़ते अपने भूतकाल का त्याग कर वर्तमान क्षण में आ जाए. यह वर्तमान क्षण नया है. इस नए क्षण का स्वागत ओम के नाद से करते हैं. ब्रीथ इन, गुरु का आवाहन कर ले. आवाहनम आवाहनम आवाहनम. पुनः पुनः let us express our gratitude to divinity. गुरु वंदना कर ले. गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. तस्मै श्री श्री गुरवे नमः. गुरु से प्रार्थना कर ले. अपने मुख से निकलने वाले हरेक शब्द, हरेक वाणी, अपने सारे कर्म एवं विचार, अपने बुद्धि के अंदर जागृत होने वाला विवेक, अपने स्मृति के अंदर तैयार हो रहे संस्कार यदि हो रहे हो तो, और ये जो थोड़ा बहुत भी अहम का भाव अभी बाकी है वह और यह सारे भी गुरु की प्रेरणा से ही प्रेरित हो, ऐसी प्रार्थना करे. मुक्ति और मोक्ष की राह पे चलने वाले हम लोग यदि गुरु कृपा से इसी क्षण जीवन मुक्ति का, सदेह मुक्ति का अनुभव कर ले तो यह उर्वरित जीवन और किसी कारणवश सेवा के लिए, भक्ति के लिए, इस ज्ञान को स्प्रेड करने के लिए यहाँ पे आना भी पड़े तो वह भी गुरु की प्रेरणा से ही प्रेरित हो, ऐसी प्रार्थना करे. अपने भीतर और बाहर गुरु का सानिध्य महसूस करते हुए slowly and gradually you may open your eyes. आप अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो। Jai Gurudev. So today we are on 56th session of Yog Vaashishtha. We have already gone through 3 chapters, the Vairagya Prakarana, the discussion of Rama, how the Vasishtha Muni is guiding him, how to come out of that Vairagya by telling him the Mumuksha Vivahar Prakarana, means how the person who is walking on this path, what are the things that he needs to adopt in life. As even Gurudev says that we have to do your self-effort by adopting the Purushartha. Doing your self-effort by doing your dharma, artha, kam and moksha. Dharma is whatever your purpose of your life, whatever the things that you are supposed to do, doing that. Dharma, artha means whatever means you require to do that dharma, do your duties, earn that. And then third one is dharma, artha, kam, having your small little goals. The kama means ichha, kamanai. Someone wants to become an IAS officer so that he can serve the country better. Someone wants to become IPS officer. Someone wants to go into IIT. Someone wants to become an IIT, a businessman. Someone wants to do jobs. Whatever your that small little desires are there, kamana are there. Having set that goal, but whenever come doing all these things, do not forget the ultimate goal of our life is to attain mukti and moksha. That becomes your purushartha. Walking on that path, using the tools, moksha ke char dwarpa, there are 4 gatekeepers that has been said. No, using your shamadama, achieving the peace of mind. Second one is the vichara, the thought process, self-inquiry. Who am I? What is the purpose of my life? Why am I here? Having that self-inquiry, having that vichara in place will elevate us, no, to achieve the moksha, to do your purushartha. And the third one is having that contentment in life, that santosha. Whatever you have, feeling very grateful to that. And whatever you do not have, not having any cravings to possess it. No? That santosha, that trupti, that contentment. No? That's the third gatekeeper. No? The third moksha ke dwarpal. And the last one is the sadhu sangati, having the company of the enlightened one, having the company of the good people, the way we are, the way we come here, sit together, discuss, listen to each other's viewpoint and continue to learn from each other. So that's the reason we say this is a study group where we do not claim that there is somebody very big Gyani and the one who is sharing all these things with you. No, we are all work in progress model. We are all student here. This is the study group. So we express ourselves. You too will get a chance to express yourself once we complete this session. You'll be able to express, ask questions, and all these things continues. So this is what we have been doing here. So the third chapter that comes where Rama asks, what is this creation all about? So Vasishtha Muni explains Prabhu Ramchandra, the entire creation, how this entire creation is created. One fine day that Sat Chit Ananda Shiva Brahma Chaitanya, whatever the name you refer with, that felt doing something, that spurant, that wave have arisen in that Shant Prashant Mahasagar, the ocean. And then to express that what it wanted to do, it just created in an imaginary form, created the chitta. Chitta here is your mind. Now this mind started thinking and started projecting certain things, and whatever it projected, whatever it wanted to do to achieve that vishaya, that chaitya, that vishaya, the outward things, bahirmukh, I want to do this, I want to do that. All these things are called vishaya. Means your senses, whatever the senses wants to do to achieve that little bit of temporary pleasure, they are called the vishayas here. They are called the attractions of your senses to do certain things outside. So for to fulfill that, formation of chitta came into existence, and now this chitta started projecting whatever it wanted to create. So it has been said in the chronological order. If you see that it creates all the 5 Pancha Tanmatras, all these Akash Tattva, all the Pancha Mahabhuta, 5 elements, they all get created. And But all these things is happening just like a dream in your chitta. So there's just a projection is happening just as a dream in your chitta. And that's the reason whenever we see the Gurudev always referred to this entire world as an unreal world. This Drishya Jagat is just a bhasman hai. Drishya Jagat yah asat hai. Is not the truth. No. What happens because of this understanding, that inherent understanding, the problems that we face, no, the Vyakti, Paristhiti and objects, the cravings, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsara, and the outward direction of mind to experience the happiness outside, that turns into, because that's all imaginary, that's all illusionary. How can we seek pleasure from there? No? Then your all the sufferings disappear, because what you see, you just take it lightly, don't too much get entangled with it, and you want to keep yourself up doing your all your sadhana, seva, satsang, go within, experience the meditation, and then get away from your suffering. So that is what the creation of this universe. So in between all these things, Prabhu Ramchandraji keeps on asking very intelligent questions, and Vaashishtha Muni keeps on answering them. So once this chapter number 3 is finished, we moved into the on-existence. That is the Sthiti Prakaran. Sthiti Prakaran means, okay, fine, the creation universe is created, although imaginary, it is created. Now we as a human being or a jiva have to live here. How do we live our life? What is it that we are supposed to do? If the situation comes in my life, a particular situation, how do I handle it? All those questions comes into picture, and Rama continues to ask those questions, and here Vaashishtha Muni keeps on answering them. Now there is a very beautiful way of presentation here in Yog Vaashishtha. Is that Vaashishtha Muni tells different stories, and there is a moral of the story, there is a takeaway of the story. So we have seen the stories of Padmaraja and Lilavati, Karkati Rakshasi. Then we have seen the story of this Induputra, how they attain the Brahmatva, they attain the Lordship. Then we also seen the story of Indra and Ahilya, how they get entangled into each other, and just through that they have to go through all these things. No? Then we also seen the story of Lavana Raja, how this Lavan Raja gets entangled into all these things. So all these things happen. Then in between we also see the Chitta Akhyan, how this entire Chitta gets entangled into this imaginary forest, this Jagat, and then it just makes itself suffer. So all such beautiful stories kept on happening. We also seen the story of Shukra, the Bhrigu, the son of Bhrigu, Rishi Bhrigu, and how this Shukra just upon one thought of observing one Apsara and gets entangled into it, and then he happens to go through this vicious life cycle of death and birth. Then all these things continues. And then now the Rama, Prabhu Ramchandraji is now asking the questions. We also seen the story of, there was this demon called Shambharasur, and the Shambharasur happened to created 3 demons. Vyal and Kat. These are the 3 demons, and they did not have any vasana in them. They were free as he created it. There were no any attraction, there is no reason, there were no impressions, there were no past karmas, and the devas, the gods, could not defeat them. So Brahmadev guides them, do one thing, go and you just do imaginary fights with them, and deliberately you lose again and again, again and again. So that will create an ahankara, that will create that I, how great we are able to defeat them. And when that comes, that's it, you will be able to defeat them. So that is what all these gods seems to be doing, and then they ultimately defeat them one day, because this ahankara dawns in them. The moment this ahankara dawns, now they start thinking other things. The fear dawns in them. They want to protect their body. They want to do all these things over the worldly vishayas, outward things. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsara. No, the greed, entanglement, anger, jealousy, all these things they get caught up. And ultimately, once upon time when the gods attack on them, they just happen to run away from them. Now, how they happens, they go and take the shelter in the Saptaloka, that is the Yamanagari is there, and there once upon a time Yama comes, and then he happened to not respecting Yama. The Yama now curse them. So they goes and then they have to take so many lives and deaths births, and they get into the crow, and then they go to vulture, then they become all these things, and one fine day they become the fish in the Kashmir Desha. There is a country called Kashmir. There they go, and they are lying in that lake, and because of the sunlight, the entire water is also dried, and now they are just waiting, just surviving somehow. And the Vaashishtha Muni explains Rama that look, what was the condition of these three Daityas who nobody could win or win, and look at just all this because of that pumping, that ego, that ahankara, and the different vasanas. What is it that they have to go through in this life? So this is a very beautiful takeaway that we saw in that. And then Shambharasur again creates three more Daityas. No, they are the Bhim, Bhas, and all this thing. And then after that, he give them the knowledge also. So they do not fall for all such traps of gods. No? So they leave, the Shambharasur happened to live for 1 lakh years, and after that Vishnu goes and kills him, and these three also just differ, this appear like a candle, because they do not have any craving as such. So here now, listening to all these things, here Rama goes into contemplation, and Vaashishtha Muni keeps guiding Rama step by step. So here the first thing that contemplation Vaashishtha Muni asks Rama to do, that Rama, you think, Vichar Purvak Vishatyag, means he explains here that you got to, if you want to be free, you have to drop this mind. If there is a thing, understanding that the session is all happening in English, and if there is an understanding issue, the same session will be conducted in Hindi also tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock we will be conducting. यही सत्र हम लोग कल सुबह 8 बजे हिंदी में भी हम लोग इसको एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. तो जरूर यदि लैंग्वेज का कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो जरूर आप देख लेना, और यह फेसबुक पे भी लाइव होता है, तो वो भी आपको वहाँ पे देखने को मिल जाएगा. For the time being, as we are committed to conduct this session in English, we are continuing this session in English. So here Vaashishtha Muni is giving now the sutras, how one can become free, how one can get over the sufferings that we go through, the sukha dukkha, the sufferings, all these things. So he says that, see, the root cause of all these things is that Vishayas. Vishayas means all your 5 senses are there, and the pleasure that we enjoy, we want to enjoy it unlimited period of time, but the capacity of your senses is limited, but your mind wants it unlimited, and ultimately you suffer, because it is never ending process of wanting something. It continues, that Ichha Shakti never dies. It keeps on asking you to do certain things. Even if you do it, you complete it, it keep on asking that. These are called, these 5 senses outward going is called Vishayas here. So here Vaashishtha Muni is saying Vichara Purvak Vishaya Tyaga. Vishaya Purvak Vishaya Tyaga means you now think using your buddhi, using your contemplation, using your viveka, the power of your discrimination, you slowly and gradually get control, drop this. So getting control, how to do that? Now this it's the one who experiences. Then Vaashishtha Muni explained that is that 5 senses, or this is Panchendriya, the Pancha Karmendriya, is that this body experiences whatever you go through, or something else. And then he also explained that Atman, that Chaitanya, Brahman, Shiva, that doesn't bother, it doesn't get afflicted of Nainam Chandanti Kshitrani, Nainam Dahati Papa, na usko koi maar sakta hai, na usko koi choo sakta hai, nothing affects it. Then who is the sufferer here? When we say that, okay, my body is the sufferer, when we have been given anesthesia, and when our body parts are cut in front of her, where does that pain goes then? Is this the body sufferer? No, not the body is not the sufferer. Who suffers? Neither the Atma, Chaitanya, nor this body. The sufferer here is your mind. It is that mind which assumes all these things, and it is that mind which perceives. It is that mind through your thing responds, and it is that mind which suffers. So the first sutra Vaashishtha Muni gives him to become free is to drop your mind. Mano nash. So once you are able to do that, once you are able to drop this mind, dissolve this mind into your self, then automatically your self-control will be established. No? That Shama. Shama means the peace of mind, and the Dhamma means having say over your senses. Shama and Dhamma. We listen to this in advanced course also. So Shama is the peace of mind. Dhamma is the having a say over your control senses. So instead of directly doing, if you see that the existence itself is not there, this body itself is imaginary, the body doesn't exist, and I would like to, what exists is the mind, and I'd like to dissolve that mind itself, automatically self-control will be established. No? So very beautifully he says that whatever you want to work on, you work on this mind. And this is exactly what we do when we do the happiness program. We learn the Sudarshan Kriya, and you see for that Sudarshan Kriya, after that, what are the meditation that we do with Gurudev in advanced course, in Sayam, all these things, what is practically happening? Practically you are dropping the mind and going in a deep rest with yourself. You stay with yourself for some time and you experience that freedom. You experience that mukti. Automatically all these other outward things just go off. Now this thing, now Rama is also very intelligent. Rama also keeps asking questions in between, that what is this happening? So the Rama is asking a question here. You have already explained me how this Jagat, means this universe, and the Chaitanya, the Chidatma, the Shiva, Brahman, no, that is different. No? But then how can we say that this world is created? You also told that this is illusionary, imaginary world. This Drishya Jagat is Asat, it is Maya, illusion. How this world, which is full of so magic, full of so illusions, actually created by the Chidatma? And how one, and on the other contrary, you said that the Chidatma is present everywhere also. How this imaginary world, which doesn't seem to exist, how it will be present in the Chidatma also? Ashaji, it's the same Zoom link. Its Zoom link session also will be there on the same. No? This session will be there on the Zoom link. All our events of IMeditate Club happens on only one Zoom link. No? So just join that, it will happen. So after asking this question, now Vaashishtha Muni tells him the answer, that how actually this world is neither created, and yet how whatever is there, how the Chidatma, how that Atma, Paramatma, Brahman, Shiva, whatever name you call, how it is present, omnipotent, omnipresent. So here he explains that whatever the things that you have seen, if you have seen the particle, if you have seen the atom, and if you go on dividing unit, take one hair, and you have the tip of the hair, if you divide it in number of parts, whatever the that remains, that beyond that, Sukshma, means the smaller than that is this Akasha, this space. No, it exists everywhere, but do we know where does it exist? We do not know. No, it is just a space, emptiness, no? Hollow and empty. If that space element is there, we don't see this is Akasha, that is Akasha. It's hollow and empty, but yet it is there. Now he says the one who is the even smaller than that, no, even smaller, finer, cleaner than this Akasha, how can that be seen? It is present everywhere, but if you want to see, show me the Atma, show me the Brahman, nobody in this world will be able to show it to you through your this Panchendriya. Now the senses does not have a capacity to see that God, see that Brahman, see that Shiva. It is much, 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 much more finer than what we can think of. So what is it that called? That is something called as Chit. No, neither Chaitya nor Chitta. Chitta is CH-double-T. Chitta means your mind. No, and then your Chaitya. Chaitya means the Vishayas, Puran, the senses and outward going. That is Chaitya. Here what he is referring to as Chit. No? Chit and so we say, no, Sat Chitta Anand, that Chit, Sat Chitta Anand. So that is that Chit. So what that Chit is, it is like this. And then he slowly and gradually explains what this Chit is and then how it can permeate everywhere and it can be present everywhere. So he says that, see, this is the one who is omnipresent, who is omnipotent. It is the same Chaitanya which is giving the light illumination to even the moon and sun and all these things, whatever the light that you see. It is the same tattva, it is the same principle, it is the same Chaitanya which is present in all the animals, in all the humanity. It is present in all this prakriti, in all the nature. No, it is that driving factor which is there. No, despite of that, if you somebody want to ask somebody to show it, we are not able to show that because it is such a finer, yet it is omnipresent, omnipotent. It is there everywhere. So it is because of that, even though this world is illusionary, it is not outside Chaitanya. It is that Chidakasha. It is that Chidakasha created by the big Paramanu. It is not beyond the capacity of that Chidakasha. It's all encompasses all these things. How? Just in the Chitta, just like you see the dream. And once you see the dream, is there any limitation of what it can be in a dream? So likewise, the Supreme, that Brahmadev, is the Chidakash Chitta. That Chitta. And that Chitta is now creator of all this. Means it's the mind which is the creator of all these things. And once you dissolve this mind, automatically you will become one with yourself. So it is that Chit. So it is that is full of everywhere. So because of its nature, there is no akara. That is nirvikara. It doesn't have any shape. Because it is achala. Achala means it is not going anywhere. It is not coming from. Then it is been said it is a janma. Means it has not taken any birth. It is not like something is there and Chaitanya have taken birth. No, it is a janma. It has not taken any birth. Neither it will get destroyed. No, so there will not be any death. It is there, eternal in nature. So it is not, it was there and then now it is not there and it will come in the future. No, there is no concept of time here. No, it is just there. So the concept of time is what we created here. The concept of time, this is time. No, here there is no, there is no reason for it to do like this. There is no karya karana bhava. Means it's not that it is something and then it did this for this. People usually ask this question: if that is that Atma, that is the Paramatma who created this, why he created all this thing? Why he created this suffering? You could have created something else. If you would have created that, you, my dear, you don't have experienced the opposite. So if you would have created all the sukha only, what is the value of that sukha to you? Nothing. You don't bother also. Now, as you have a suffering, as you have a dukkha in your life, you started valuing that sukha. We are walking on that path where we can get into that permanent sukha and avoiding this small little bit of temporary pleasures in life. That is what he communicates here. So after listening to all these things, he said, yes, that's fine. This Chidatma itself is a sthir. It is there. It is established. All these things. So you, because of the avidya, because of that maya, that delusion that is there, because of that avidya only, one does not experience. You just keep on saying, I am this body, I am this human, I am like this, I am like that. All that things comes into picture is purely because of the maya, because of the avidya, ignorance in life. So what happens when one gets over this? When one becomes mukta, the one who is beyond all these things, how do they do it? So there is, in that time, they do not have any fear of death, because they have understood that my body is what is going to die, and even this body is not real. It is just unreal, but this is what will happen. It will go until this go, but what I am will always remain eternal in nature. That is what will continue in nature. That is what is being said here. Now, after listening to all these things, the Rama gets confused. He said, what you are saying, I'm really not able to understand, not making any sense to me. I'm really feeling confused about it. So listening to all these things, Vaashishtha Muni also thinks, I've been telling this guy from such a long time all these things, and still he appears to be confused instead, because Rama was just 16 years old there. just small young boy, and he's just expressing all because things are not yet clear to him. So here Vashishtha Muni explains that these things, if you are Ardha Jnani, if you're not yet fully matured, not yet walking on that path, then probably it will be difficult for you to understand things. And that is what he thinks about Rama also, that these things will be there, and that's the reason it appears to be realizing this truth as like this. So that is the reason he keeps on asking doubts. Vashishtha Muni keeps on answering it. So it is just like if there is an dirty water. If you go to this clean water, you will be able to see yourself. No, the reflection will be very obvious. No, but if you go to the dirty water, can you see your reflection? No, no, because that water is yet dirty. That water is not yet fully clean. So you cannot see the reflection in the muddy water. So that is what Vashishtha Muni also explains, and then he guides in step by step what all the things that one has to do and how one can come out of all these things. That is what Vashishtha Muni said, that you have to drop all these things. You have to do all these things by doing all these practices, yoga, pranayama, meditation, Sudarshan Kriya, whatever the Gurudev is there in our life, whatever that we have been learning, doing all this cleansing process, realizing who you really are, then you will be able to really understand the things that I am telling you. Till that point of time, you just keep on continue to do your cleansing and all that. So the next beautiful story that will set to come is the Dashura Akhyan. So there is this Dashura, how it happens to him. That story will something we'll see tomorrow. For today, I will take a pause. I'd like to hand over this session to all of you. If you have any question related to today's session, you are welcome to ask that. If you'd like to express what are your takeaways, whatever we discussed today, you can express that. And if you would like to have any experience of your own, you will be able to share that also. So I'm opening this session to all of you. You will be able to ask questions. You can unmute yourself automatically, and then you will be able to ask question or share whatever you would like to share. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev. You can put your questions on chat also, or you can unmute yourself and directly ask. Anything is fine. If there are no questions, then we'll continue to next step, that is the sharing, brainstorming session. So would you like to express yourself? Yeah, go ahead, Sangeeta ji.
Thank you very much, Someshwar ji. That was a very beautiful session, and very, you just take us very lightly. Really, I tell you. Yeah, am I right? Yes. So here we have the story, and how Rama asked the questions, and he gets the answer from Vashishtha also. Everything, it is transcendental, he says, and omnipresent, and it is non-dual and pure. So that is what is that? That is the Supreme Brahman, which permeates everything, and which is enable you to experience the sound, taste, form, fragrance, everything. Sorry for that. Yeah. And then as we go ahead, okay, yes. So then Vashishtha says to Rama, ki you are the very existence of this absolute Brahman. Therefore, free yourself from all the notions of duality and live an active life. That is so nice. See, free yourself from all the notions of the duality. So whatever is there, जो द्वंद्व जो हमारे अंदर चलता रहता है, is telling you free yourself from that. And then you live a life, a very active life. Active life, not a passive one. He's telling you do all your karmas, but that karmas are not going to bind you anymore then. That is the beauty of it, isn't it? And then what will you gain by desiring to be inactive? What is it? What is the use of being inactive and just sitting and just being there? So telling it's better कि you have rest in peace and purity like the ocean, and when that mind is not agitated. You see, at the shore of the ocean, all the waves will come up. There will be all with the wind. All the waves come up every time. Sometimes there are big ones, sometimes there are small ones, sometimes there are half-cut, disturbed ones. But what happens when you go at the center of the ocean and you go deep within? It's very much silent, very much. There is no agitation there. All the agitation, what you see is on the shore. Likewise, in our mind also, all the agitations which are seen, it's of the mind. But when this mind has the taste of that Brahman, see, mind is already, whether you agree or you don't agree, whether you let your mind wander in the objects or you are in your supreme self, then what happens? It is a difference. That mind which is there in the supreme self becomes that ocean which is very silent. So deep within that ocean is also there is silence. So let us all experience that. That is again there. Then Vashishtha Muni says regarding the doership also, the doership also gives you the happiness and the unhappiness. It keeps on giving you, that I notion, I am, that ego, that keeps on, that individualized consciousness is that gives you the sense of the doership. So what have we to do? What have we to do is we have to merge it into the infinite. Yes. So all this, if you go to see, it's really, I'm not going to say much, but if you just go on reading all this also, it is so beautiful, I tell you. And then the mind alone in this world appearance, that appearance which it appears to be real, it is an appearance, but it is come out from where? From that Brahman itself, right? So it has a rise and so it comes up, then it goes back. So what is that? But what have you to experience here is that your mind should become tranquil, and that consciousness alone remains. So be wise, he says to him, and that the mind is enlightened, neither in the state of bliss nor devoid of the bliss. So here it is saying that neither it is in motion nor it is in static, neither it is in real nor it is in unreal, but between these two proportions is where it is. So all this, when you experience all this, then what happens? The world becomes a play. That is beautifully said. And all the mental conditions, they keep on fading. All these conditions keep on fading. And this veil of ignorance which is there drops one day. And what happens? Just like the sun is shining, you are also that luminous consciousness. And you also keep on shining. So instead of बोलने के लिए, तो it's like you just go on and on and on. I don't think there is a full stop, just a comma every time. But then I would really love that all of you also join in and let us hear from you also what you have learned, what you have experienced. So that will be an insight for us also. Thank you very much. Jai Gurudev. Thank you, Someshwar ji. Over to you.
Jai Gurudev Sangeeta ji. That was very beautifully summarized. Anyone else wants to add to it, or you would like to just express yourself, or you want to ask anything? We have Seemaji with us. Seemaji, would you like to say something?
Hi, Gurudev. I'm listening for the many times, 2-3 times, but again and again I stopped. In between, somehow with my commitments, I am stuck, but I'm trying to catch this one by one, small, little ways, so that I do understand very clearly and can keep it in my mind and can undergo through this sequence. Thank you. I liked it very much.
Thank you so much, Seemaji, for that wonderful expression. So here what Yog Vaashishtha says, how I do this. So here Vaashishtha Muni tell there are a couple of steps that we need to do. Yeah. So first thing is that you continue to do listening. See how we are born. Just take back us to our childhood. What is the learning process that anyone adopts? What happens? We come out of mother's womb, and then you are just observing this world. No? अपने आँखों से देखते हैं, चीजों से छूते हैं, and you touch your mother, you feel that sparsh, no? And then you keep on listening. The people talk, you are not able to talk. You see so many things, you are not able to read. That doesn't exist. Where it all starts? Shravana. You just do the Shravana. So Yoga Vaashishtha, very good idea to just do the Shravana. Listen first. Then what happens once you go through it, then you start learning the stuff, then you learn ABCD, and then you start reading certain things. No? So then you go and buy the book. We recommend, there are many books that we have. This is the one which is the book that we are referring in Marathi. Likewise, there are books in English also, in Hindi also. Just get in touch with us on the number that we have already shared, and we'll guide you. There are PDF also available, and you can order the book from the Amazon and Flipkart. Then you do what you do. You start doing vachana, means you start reading it. Now, Shravana is happened, vachana is happened. Now, there are two processes that we have completed. Now, the third thing that we need to do, continue being on this path, is to do manana. Manana means think about it. What is it that I have read? Have I really understood? The reason why we always encourage all of you to come here and speak about it is the part of that manana. Means, okay, I heard this. What is it that I might take away? Is this. So when you say it, then obviously it becomes more firmly established. What is another advantage of doing so? If that manana also comes with little bit of chintana. Chintana means the Sangha comes together, we have a team, we express ourselves, and whatever we understood that concept is there, we express. And many times it happens that when other people also, 2-3 people express themselves about the same thing, we say, oh, it could be like this also. I thought it like this, but this could be also another viewpoint. No? So that is called a chintana, brainstorm session. Yeah. So that Shravana, Vachana, reading, Manana, contemplation of what is it that I have gone through. Do this Manana after reading the book also. Do this Manana after going, listening also. And then do the Chintana. Sit together and do the brainstorm session. Then what comes? Then all the, your Sadhu Sankati is all here. You have put forward your viewpoint. You have listened to their point. You also clarified your doubts. Oh, I still did not get it. That is exactly what Rama is also doing. He keeps on poking. He keeps on asking questions. I still did not get it. He doesn't have a fear in expressing that I have not yet got. Today we have seen it. After so much of experience, Rama says, oh, I have not. And there is nothing wrong. It's okay to accept. I did not understand this. Please explain. So Vaashishtha Muni is so kind. He keeps explaining it. So ask questions. If certain things are not clear, ask. What is it that will happen? Who will say? Some people will think that you are not Gyani. Who is Gyani here? By the way, we are all students. So just have that openness, have that sense of belongingness, that one who is there, he is also part of me only. जैसे फैमिली के साथ नहीं जुड़ जाते हम लोग. Do we have a fear asking a question or expressing our fear in front of family member? No. Here also we are also part of that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We are part of that Yog Vaashishtha Parivar. We are part of that art of living. We share one common thread, Gurudev, in our life. No? And even if it is not there, that's okay. That's fine. Still we belong to you, belong to us. Having that, then when you express, ask question, then many other aspects comes up. Our doubts are resolved. Our questions will disappear, turn into wonder, or at least will be answered. Once all these things done, you have something very solid to carry away as a learning. And that is the time to go ahead and implement that in your life. Is called as nididhyas. You have to now go and apply that in life. Otherwise, what will you do by listening to all these things and understood it and then not practicing it? No. Go and do the nididhyas. Then what will happen? As the Patanjali says, Sato Dirgha Kalam. Even if it's what Seemaji experienced today, that I try this, I fail. I try this, I fail. That's okay. That is how we learn to walk. That is how we learn to drive cycle. We fell down, we walk up. We fell down, we again started walking. Fell down from the cycle, we again read. No, take that again. It happens with our sadhana also. We sometimes leave between, again we start. Leave it, start again and be with the team. That sangha, that team will take us ahead. No, that they will not let you leave it. They will pull you. That is the reason moksha ke char dwarpal, that fourth gatekeeper is the sadhu sangati. Have the company of the good people. They will pull you. This journey will continue like this. This is the journey that we are continuing like this, and it is helping all of us. I'm sure it will help everybody. What do you say, Seemaji? Yes, can we do that?
Absolutely. Wonderful. You explained. Thank you.
Let's do this together.
Really, I like it.
Jai Gurudev.
Thank you very much.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai.
किसी को अपने आप को व्यक्त करना है? Anybody have any questions? Would you like to say something about it? You are welcome to do that. You can unmute yourself and you'll be able to speak. I do not have any fear of speaking. Many people have fear of, oh, I'm live, video is recorded, what will happen? How do I look? Forget about all these things. Who will say what? Nobody says anything anyway. Okay. If nothing is there, that is also okay. If you want to remain silent, that is also fine. Experience that silence, experience that thing also is fine. With that note, we'll take a pause here so that we can meet tomorrow. कल फिर से मिलने के लिए आज के लिए स्वल्प विराम लेते हैं. जय गुरुदेव.